Man, what's going on? What's going on? Your mic's on mute, bro. Welcome back to another episode of Grow Live Great.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Grow Live Dream. I am your boy LeVar Robinson, and this is my brother T Hutton, the motivator, and we excited to be coming to you guys today. Listen, I was ready to jump right in there, muting all, man. What's happening, brother?
Man, it's just going on, man. How's everything going out there in the ATL, man? I know we sent the winter storm y'all direction.
Not at all, bro. Not at all. It's 70 outside right now. I'm feeling absolutely amazing. You hear me? I'm walking around just like this. You feel me? Like it feels great outside. I hate y'all had to go through that, but it's feeling good over here. How's the weather over there right about now?
Man, getting cold again. I had on a t-shirt earlier. Somebody looked at me and said, "You must be confused. You didn't get your weather report."
Oh, shoot. Well, look, listen. So everybody watching, once again, welcome to the show. What's up? What's going on, Jasmine? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. She says she loves the intro. Hey, listen, guys, we're going to be talking about an amazing topic today. Very simple. The title of the show is called Stop Lying, right? We have so many people that be telling ourselves some of the worst lies ever. It's like the craziest thing. We lie ourselves all the way into horrible living, not even achieving our dreams, not getting what we want. We about to talk about that today.
Man, it's amazing. Just like doing life coaching, talking to people on a day-to-day basis, honestly, just living life. How many people you come across and you hear the lies that they tell themselves, and they rehearse them to you. It's funny because you get the rehearsal. They've rehearsed it to themselves so much that when they rehearse it to you or when they perform the lie for you, that it's polished. They have convinced themselves to believe a lie, and it's interesting to see that. So today we're going to get right into talking about that lie. What are some of those lies? How do we get rid of those lies in our life? And to make it change, like to make a change for the better. We always want to see everyone doing better. So we want to talk about, hey, let's confront these lies. Let's get them out the way. Let's put them out there in the opening. You know, as they say, everything done in the dark will come to light. Let's shine some light on these lies that we tell ourselves.
100%. And for everybody that's listening, make sure that you like, make sure that you comment, put in the comments, what is a lie you feel like you've told yourself and later on you debunk that lie. All right. We want to hear about it, right? Because that's huge, right? And let's jump right into it, right? It's almost like excuses, right? They say the excuse only sounds good to the one that's saying it. Right? When you're saying those lies to yourself, it only sounds and makes sense to yourself, right? You got other people looking at you like, but nah, you way more powerful than that. Like, what you talking about, right? But you lying to yourself, right? So what is maybe one of those lies, T Hutton, that you hear often while doing life coaching?
Man, you threw me. I had some in my head when you asked that question, and I was thinking about a conversation from long ago, and and it was a lot someone was telling themselves once again. But one of the biggest things I hear is I don't have enough time. I used to be a college advisor for a while, and I would hear people say all the time, "I don't have enough time, Lev. That's going to take too long." More importantly, they'll say the story that I'm too old for that. I'm too old to learn something new. You know, you've heard the saying that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And people like to quote that. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. So they're telling themselves they can't learn something new. They're too old to learn something new. And that's a lie.
Well, first and foremost, we know that that's a lie because you can teach older dogs new tricks. What they mean to say is that it's harder to teach an older dog new tricks, which is reality, right? But if that person being yourself really want to learn those new tricks, you're gonna have to work at it. Right? That's that lie that we tell us because we really don't want to put in the work. As we get older, we start seeing things as harder, right? We start actually being able to see the possible barriers ahead of us, right? So we don't really believe that we can do it On the other hand, you got a younger kid, you have a child, right? And you're teaching that child. The child don't really know about the barriers. The child not thinking about the barriers. The child not thinking about how hard it is. The child is just thinking, hey, look, all right, teach me. Right. And that's something that we want everyone to really look at. That time thing is a complete lie. Right. I used to have a conversation with Amber, T-Hud. I used to have a conversation with her, and before we had our first son, LJ, you know, she'd go to work. This is before now, but she would go to work and she'd be like, I don't have no time. I don't have any 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 time. Right.
Yeah.
We end up having our first son, LJ, and all of a sudden she had all this extra time to take care of LJ. Where did the time come from, y'all? Where did the time truthfully come from? It was always there.
Yeah.
But what we didn't do, we didn't go in and allocate the time that we needed for the dreams and the things that we really wanted. We have more power mentally anyway. We have more power. We have more power up here anyway, right? We have the ability to be able to shape our surroundings. The problem is we tend to just go about life just allowing things to happen.
You know, it's funny when you talk about time, and we know that's one of my hot buttons. That's how you set T-Hud the Motivator off, time. And it's interesting when we talk about it because you hear people say so many times about not having enough time, and then they're like, well, I don't even know how they do all that. They got the same 24 hours you got. Let's just be honest. They didn't get an extension on their day. They didn't bow their head and like, Lord, let me get an extra 8 hours. I need an extra 8 hours so I can be more productive, be more successful than the next man.
That's right.
No, they got the same 24 hours you got. The difference is how are you utilizing those 24 hours? I say that because we're doing life coaching. One of the things I do when I first start talking to someone and they give me that lie, I say, okay, great. Let's take the time to chart out your day. Let's create a time schedule. Let's see where you spend the bulk of your day at. And they be like, you know, the first thing I hear, man, ain't got time to do that. Well, the reason why you don't have time to do that because it's not a priority for you. And the reason we lose a lot of our time is the lack of priority. Prioritizing must be something that you must do if you want to have full access of your time.
You see, so what you're saying is that I should look at my day and I should write down a schedule for myself to see what specifically I'm doing throughout my day and prioritize. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you should go back, review your last few days, review your last week. I say take time and work forward. Don't work backwards because it's kind of hard to remember what you did for 24 hours in a day. I can't tell you the entire day yesterday. But what I can tell you is based on my schedule, what I've done. But if we were to work forward, if we started today, journaling, what am I doing? Cataloging, what are you doing? For the next 3 to 7, you know what I'm saying, the next 72 hours to week, see exactly what are you spending your time at? How long do you spend on your phone? How long do you spend brushing your teeth, getting dressed for the day, watching television? How long is actually the commute to work? Because some of us, we just guesstimate the commute to work.
Right.
But if you actually really figure out these details, then you're able to be very much so strategic, as someone once said in the group there, about your time. Yeah. You want to make sure that you are triaging how you spend your time, because let's be honest, if you don't do that, you do yourself a disjustice, because the things that you really want to put as a priority, you don't allocate the time for it.
Well, let me go ahead and say this to everybody that's already commenting right now. Everybody is already in the mix. That was actually Valika Jessica who put that in there about being strategic. I see right now Zuriel said time management. That's right, guys. Time management will help you. It will help you debunk that lie. I don't have enough time. People say it all the time, right? I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. But what you realize is that a majority of those people who say that don't even really look at their day. They don't even really write down their day. They're not being intentional about finding time at all. You got to be intentional about finding time, right? That intention is something that will allow you to be able to take control. All right. Now, let's go ahead and move forward to another one. I'm not good enough.
Yeah, I noticed someone put that in there earlier. I'm not good enough. Jasmine George put in, I'm not good enough for the blessings before me.
I'm not good enough for the blessings before me. All right. So here's we know is a major lie that we tell ourselves, right? But we know a majority of that comes from your experiences. We know a majority of that comes from what you've been through. We know a majority of that comes from programming, negative or positive, whatever it may. A majority of that comes from that particular programming. Right? There's nothing, including in the Bible, that doesn't say that you can't have what you want or that we're not supposed to live abundantly. Nothing. Right? So what we do is we look in the mirror and we say, I'm not good enough. Well, what if you may not have had everything that it took in order for you to get there, but you needed to grow to that? Right? First off, in order for us to manifest what we want, we got to stop telling ourselves that lie. I'm not good enough. Right? I need everybody going to put in the chat manifest. Right? Because in order for us to get to where we need to go, we have to make sure that we're manifesting the right things. We can't be looking at ourselves, telling ourselves we're not good enough. I don't really care what we do. If that's your message to yourself, no matter how much you try, you're going to be stuck.
Well,
you're going to be stuck. Go ahead.
You know why? It doesn't matter how much you try, you're going to be stuck, LeVar. It's because you're self-sabotaging. Because you're not really trying. Because you're not putting forth 110%. You're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying, but like, you know, I'm only doing about 60%. Because why put my all into it if I don't think I'm good enough?
Why put my all into it if I don't think I'm good enough?
So you self-sabotage, and therefore you know what I'm saying, you're fulfilling your own destiny. You're like, oh, see, told you it wouldn't work. Well, you didn't actually give it a full chance. You didn't actually try. I heard Summer one time that says that somebody said they give it 10%. You do not want to give 10%. Hey, look, I see that 10% took my eyes right to it.
Felt that in your soul.
That ain't even good for a phone battery life.
God bless you. Hold on, we can't even give it 10%. Go ahead.
But no, seriously, like I heard Summer one time says that, you know what I'm saying, you have to try. If you run into a wall the first time and smack into it, the next time you run into that barrier, you should hit it with just as much momentum as you had the first time, if not more.
That's right.
Because if you go at it and you hit it softer the sixth time, and the next time, and the next time, and the next time, you ain't even putting any force on the wall. You ain't putting any pressure on the wall. You can't expect for a breakthrough if you're hitting it softer and softer each time.
So you're saying that every time, you're saying to Hutton that if in order for me to even find out that I'm good enough, I have to give myself a chance by putting forth the effort, the right effort every single time to push past. Because if I realize, if I do that and I break through that, I'll realize that I was telling myself a lie. But if I do not do that, I'm able to say that I'm right. I'm right about it because I said it. Hey, I'm not good enough. So I proved myself by not putting the type of effort in that I needed to. That what you're saying?
Definitely. If you don't put the effort in, then hey, what you're doing is you're proving a lie to yourself. And the bad thing about it is this: it's still not right. You're still not right. It's just that, you know, you made the lie look real to yourself. And then, you know, the crazy part about it is you made a comment earlier about kids, and I love when you tell kids things and the kid just be like, oh, okay, so just make it happen. Like if you explain something to a kid, they don't understand the barriers. They don't understand the constraints on things. It's like, hey, my cousin's daughter was here. She seen the Rice Krispies in the pantry, and she wanted some Rice Krispie treats. She had never had them before. And she was like, hey, I want some Rice Krispie treats. My wife was like, okay, cool, we'll make you some. We didn't have no marshmallows. She wasn't trying to hear that. Now, let's make some treats. Like, they don't understand constraints.
Right.
Funny, so we go around life trying to give ourselves these constraints that in reality, you should be like a child. You should see those constraints as merely just a suggestion. I heard Schwarzenegger says that, you know what I'm saying, he said a thing along the lines of, like, if we put ourselves in the box that the world tells us these are the constraints, nothing will ever be invented. nothing new will never happen.
That's right.
So if you put yourself in this box, you give yourself these constraints, you can't expect greatness out yourself because, hey, you're just willing to bounce around inside the box. You remember the game Pong, LeVar?
Mm-hmm.
Or just bing.
Yeah.
Bing.
Mm-hmm.
You're just bouncing off the walls, just nothing changing.
Nothing changing. You know, it's interesting in my business, which I absolutely love. Super, super excited. Yesterday, I just found out that 3 of the business partners that came in, I made a decision 4 years ago. And 3 of my business partners that came in yesterday went over the 6-figure mark. They got their 6-figure rings, and because I made a decision, right? And 4 years ago, and when I tell you, I'm so blown away by it because, over that time frame, I've met so many people who put themselves in boxes. I've met so many people who have broken barriers. Now, this is interesting. I want you guys to hear this. They've broken barriers to prove themselves right about not being good enough instead of breaking barriers to prove themselves wrong about not being good enough. Wait, we'll fight to prove ourselves. That's weird, right?
Rewind it and say it again. Slow it down for us.
We'll fight to prove ourselves right about not being good enough. But we won't fight to give us to break past. I'm talking about every bit of us. Right. So it just excites me when I see people that say, you know what, I'm living the way that I'm living right now, but I know that I'm meant for change and I am good enough. And I am going to let my actions speak to what I'm saying. Oh, my goodness. So that blew me away. It blew me away. I'm so humbled by it. But it just reminds me I'm right by not listening to people and letting them soak in what their lies are telling them. We're just lying to ourselves. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I can't do what you do. I can't do what they did. Right? You were saying I don't really have enough time. Right? I've got a chance to see single mothers, single moms with no help whatsoever kill the game, find the time, and not allow themselves to be stuck in constraints. Man, it's crazy. Let's move forward. Did you have anything else to say about that?
Yeah, but don't worry about it. I can go all day.
Right.
I can go all day. You're good.
All right. So let's talk about it. Your past will always hunt you. My past will always hunt me. All the things that I've been through, like, who am I? Like, I've messed up. Who am I to believe I can live the life that I want to after all the mistakes that I've made? Have you ever seen anybody self-sabotage themselves because of what they've done and not believing what they can do?
I've seen people self-sabotage themselves like by mistakes, not even just conscious decisions, but mistakes they've done. And they feel like it's going to hunt them the rest of their lives. It can be as simple as giving a friend a ride, or as simple as, literally making a wrong turn and something bad happens from it. And then, hey, you feel like this is going to plague you and hunt you the rest of your life. And then you fall back into that why even try mindset.
Why even try?
Because like I always seem to make bad decisions. My past is always on me. Like I used to drink, so I can't do that because somebody might judge me because they know I used to drink. I used to be this person in the past, therefore I can't become a better person in the future. That's a lie we tell ourselves. There's so many things that you can change about yourself if you were to just make a decision to change. How about you? How many people have you come across that may have done something similar?
Oh man, all the time. See, but my thing is this. The things that you've been through are only bad if you didn't learn from them. It won't continue pushing you in that cycle, right? Because you haven't learned from it, right? You haven't taken that knowledge, you haven't taken that wisdom and said, you know what? I'm going to take it and I'm going to learn from it. I'm gonna be happy at the fact that I did get a chance to learn something, because truth of the matter is the majority of people that go through what they go through, the things that they go through, unfortunately, they don't end up learning from it. Right? It's nothing special. It's nothing better than seeing someone who may have had an abusive childhood, and instead of allowing that to be able to take over their life, instead of allowing that to take over their life, they say, you know what? I want to make sure I'm not abusive to my babies. Mm-hmm. They learn from it. They didn't allow it. They didn't allow it to kill their adulthood, being stuck on it. See, it's almost like being brought into poverty. You can be born into poverty, right? That's not your fault. It's your fault if you die in poverty, right? We make a decision on what we go through and how we handle those particular things. I want you guys that are watching, if there's any lies, any type of lies, I want you guys to put it in the chat, right? If we can get to it, we're definitely going to talk about it, right? But we want to continue debunking these lies, because we have to understand the power that we have inside of us, not allowing anything from yesterday to stop us from going on tomorrow. T. Hutton was saying just not too long ago about the effort, the amount of effort. You can look at that in every area of your life. How much effort are you putting in to be the best that you can be? How much effort are you putting in to learn from what you went through? Right? And making sure that we're doing what we need to do. Yeah, you might have had a bad childhood. You might have had a bad childhood. You might have had a bad relationship. Go see somebody, see a counselor. Hint, hint, clue, clue. That's super important. And move forward. Make sure you do that, right? A lot of people, especially in my community, don't do that enough. We don't realize how important it is, right? But move forward. Don't get stuck in that particular place. Don't be stuck in what you went through.
I would challenge the lie, because you know me, I'm that person. I would challenge you to challenge the lie. So one of the things I've learned counseling, things like that, is you challenge the mindset. So when you tell yourself something, especially if you know it's something that's harmful to your future, your desires, challenge it right there on the spot. Why do I think this? How does this work? And how can I change it? Why am I thinking this way? Why do I feel like this? What's behind the door? Because there's something that's behind the door that you're not addressing. The reason why you feel like you're shackled or you held back by something is because there is an issue that is going unaddressed. So I challenge you to find out what the real issue is. It's too often times that we try to go out and fix symptoms, right? We don't address the root problem, but we address the symptoms like they were the root problem. Like I don't feel like I can move forward because I've made so many bad decisions in my life.
Right.
Let's talk about the bad decisions. What were the bad decisions? Why did you make those bad decisions? Was it because of lack of information? Like, what was the reason behind making the bad decisions? And if you had better information, would you have made the same decision? There's things that we can take in consideration to help propel us forward. One thing I will tell you is, I don't want you to forget your past. I want you to use your past to motivate you. Use your past to push you forward. Your past is a springboard that gives you the momentum that shows you where you're at and where you don't want to be. All right. Use your past to get to where you're going. Hey, man, I seen that shirt just did. Is that one of those new shirts?
Yeah, man. You already know.
New shirt, man. Logo.
You already know.
That's nice, man.
Bring yourself, y'all. Bring yourself. I'm just
Personal
saying.
branding. I do a class called Brand You, man. It's a great class. Learn how to brand yourself. Learn how to have that elevator speech. So when you meet somebody, when the opportunity presents itself, you're ready.
That's right. That's right. Am I frozen over here, or is it you frozen?
That might be me because I don't see you froze on my side.
All right, cool. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into it then. Jump back into it. So Zuriel, let's go ahead and talk to Zuriel really quick. Okay. So Zuriel said, why would someone want to hear what I have to say? I don't even get likes or views on my social media.
That's good. You want that? You want to go for it first? Which
Oh, I'll
way?
go. I would love to tackle that, Zuriel. All right. First and foremost, why not? First and foremost, why not? Secondly, they looking always, right? Unfortunately enough, I've seen people who have mass followings. I've seen some people just kind of just look. Don't worry about it. Just make sure you're putting out the right information. Make sure you're putting out the right information, Zuriel. Make sure you're giving out value and just continue building. As long as you know that you're doing right, as long as you know you're doing right by yourself and by people, just continue moving. They watching. Zuriel, I know who you are. I know who you are. You're on my team and my business. Just understand they watching. Know how dope you are. Know the things that you've done already, right? Know where you're going. Live in that. Live in that. Live in that posture. Why you? Because God positioned you in a place to be able to put the information in front of them for them to be able to utilize. Whether they utilize that information or not matters none. Go ahead, T. Hud.
So why you? Why would someone want to hear what you have to say? Because someone. It doesn't really matter about the platform and how many people hear what you have to say. Right. Because there's someone. Key word there being one. Mm-hmm. That one person may hear you and may change your life. Mm-hmm. It may change their life. It may change a generation who hears you because of that one. Yeah. I want you to understand what you said. Why would someone? It's one. It That's only right. takes one. That's right. It only takes one statement to change one life, that changes one generation, that changes the one world. Mm-hmm. It only takes one. So when you say, why was someone? Because you're worth it. Because you're worth it. Someone had the nerves to say hello to you. Someone said something to you that changed your life. And it is literally your obligation to change someone else's life. Obligation. That's why. You know what? 4 years ago when I got started on my business, I didn't have a lot of people on my Facebook. I didn't have a lot of people that were, like gong ho following me, right? But I knew what I was here for. I knew what I needed to do. So instead of lying to myself and embedding a thought and saying that I'm not good enough, I said that now is my time to help change lives, and that's what I'm going to do. And everybody that I spoke to, I felt that way. When I walked in a room, I feel like I can change anyone's life in that room. That's the type of energy that I put in. That's the type of energy that I bring. Now, the manifestation of that feeling, the type of individual that are going to come to you, the type of individuals that you're going to connect with, they can't help but come your way when your energy comes that way, online, offline, like T. Hutton just said, no matter what platform you're on. That type of energy that you put off is the energy that you're going to get back. So if you continuously remind yourself how amazing you are and that people need to follow you and that people are going to have their lives changed because they're following you, people are going to start following you. People are going to start wanting to be led by you. It's because of the energy that you put off. All right. So let us go ahead and move forward. Hopefully, Zuriel, I see that you put something in the chat, but just take that. I promise you, you're definitely in the right place of wanting to be able to build something special for yourself, but it starts eternally. It always starts eternally. All right, so it is 29:47, so almost 30 minutes in. If anybody has anything else that they may say to themselves and say, hey, what are some of the lies that you say to yourself? Go ahead and put it in the comments. We would love to be able to speak about it, right? Yeah, we're already at 30 minutes, a few minutes to be okay. We would love to be able to help. But while we're doing that, make sure you guys go over to growlivedream.com, guys. Make sure you join the community. All right. Hold on. He said,
I once got taken off of a church stage and asked to leave after singing a song, and definitely did not feel valued. Of course, I was not doing it for people, but I did not expect it. Well, let me put that up here. All right. I want to make sure that we're clear about something. The majority of people who've ever done anything significant in this world had a majority of people go against them. The majority of people who ever done anything significant, the small amount of people who ever done anything significant, the majority of people went against their thought process. One of the most amazing businessmen right now, Elon Musk, had tons of people telling him that he was crazy. You want to do what? He didn't care, right? Because he knew what he was doing it for. Like you said, yeah, I wasn't doing it for them, but I didn't expect it, right? The only thing you have to do on a day-to-day basis is expect to be the best you. If you expect to be the best you, you're going to continuously find new levels in life just by expecting to be the best you and holding that person accountable for that. All right. So I just wanted to speak on that. T-Hut, you want to speak on that before we get off?
Yes. Briefly, I just want to say it doesn't really matter which stage you're taking off of, because the only stage that matters is the stage of life. Man builds stages, but you only have one stage that matters, and that's your life. Don't ever let nobody take you off the stage of your life. Any other stage, it really doesn't matter. Stages are going to come and go. They're going to be erected and torn down. Churches, buildings will be erected and torn down. It doesn't really matter about those stages. Your platform is wherever you are. The people that you're doing it for doesn't really matter either, because the one person that hears you is the person that needs to hear it. And if you stop speaking today, that one person may never hear you. You need to make sure that you let your voice be heard, no matter where you're at, whether you're on the stage or if you're in a valley, in an alley. It doesn't really matter where you're at. Let your voice be heard, because stages don't matter. Lives matter.
So let me say this. Our mind is set up in a way that if you allow it to control you, it will never change. And more times than not, it'll go the opposite direction. This is the eternal, all the way deep down into your blood, like your genes. And listen, when you go and try to lift a weight, your body says, nah, you can't lift weights like this. You can't lift weights like this. When you try to do something that you're not used to doing, your mind says you can't do stuff like this. But have you not realized if you fight past that, eventually you'll be able to lift more than what you ever thought. Eventually you'll be able to do more than what you ever thought possible, but you had to fight past it. You had to fight past that lie that you were telling yourself at that particular time. All of the lies that we can tell ourselves, we can also tell ourselves truths. And those truths are is that you're amazing. Those truths are is that you're dope. Those truths are that you have way more power in your mind than you ever thought possible. But another truth is that if you decide not to flex it, if you decide not to lift more, push more, that same thing that can be the best thing for you moving forward can be the worst thing for you moving forward. But you have to make that decision. It's all on you. Don't allow yourself to lie to yourself over and over again about things that are hard. Just remember everybody that came before you. One of the things I like to say is this. When you start telling yourself lies, start thinking about people back in the day and what they truthfully had to go through to get to where they needed to go. And ask yourself if that your life that bad to where you have to fight past more than what they had to. More times than not, the answer to that is a hell to the no.
To no.
To the no. All right, guys, we appreciate everyone that took the time out your schedule, get on the line. Make sure you comment. All right. Make sure that you like, guys. Make sure that you share, right? Because there's a lot of people that need to hear this. There's a lot of people that need to hear that they need to stop telling themselves lies. And they need to start telling themselves truths, guys. Thank you very much. Once again, make sure you go over to growlivedream.com. Join the community. We got some amazing things coming, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Once again, this is your boy LaVoy Robinson, my brother T Hutton, the motivator. And this is another episode of Grow Live Dream. We'll talk to y'all soon.